You're listening to the 24th edition of the Bitachon podcast. The author continues and says, He says a very important thing. You know, there's lots of reasons. The author is very clear that a person needs to watch out for those things that will knock down his bitachon. And one of the things is it's possible that when it comes to a kiyum mitzvah, fulfilling a mitzvah, doing the commandment of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a person will not have bitachon there. Why? He does mention elsewhere that when it comes to inyane mitzvah, the person has to put in extra hishtadlus. Person, indeed, is not necessarily supposed to be beteach when it comes to a mitzvah. So the person needs to raise money for yeshiva, needs to raise money for an organization, whatever it is. But watch out, says the author. You can make a mistake. Person is going to be involved in the hishtadlus and worrying when it comes to the mitzvah. He'll end up getting involved in worries also for his regular things, for the things that have to do with him. And what happens is, and this is so important and essential when it comes to understanding the approach to bitachon, we need to know. We have to have a feeling. It's about a feeling of that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in charge of our lives. We're looking for a feeling of hashgacha pratis, of Hashem's divine intervention in our life. And if we're too involved, even when it comes to a mitzvah, in hishtadlus, in our efforts, so then we can lose that sense, that feeling. The question is not just asked by somebody who doesn't believe in the Torah. It's not just a question that's asked by somebody who doesn't believe in Hashem, doesn't believe in the Torah, doesn't believe in Bitachon, doesn't believe it's going to work. Other way around, a person who's giving his very life to the Torah can ask the question. As we spoke about last time, a person, why are they keeping the mitzvah of Shmita? What are they collecting all this money for? They're collecting all this money, they're putting away the money in the first year puts away a bit, the second year until he has enough for the seventh year, right? We're talking about somebody who wants to keep the Torah. He wants to fulfill the mitzvah of Shmita. The mitzvah of Shmita. He wants to be able to keep the mitzvah properly. So he sets aside money. He sets aside crops from each year. But if this person is missing perfection in the midah bitachon, the person, if he hasn't gotten the proper attitude about bitachon, if he hasn't developed the attitude that the Torah wants him to develop, amazing thing. The Torah gave us the mitzvah of Shmita so that we should develop our bitachon in Hashem, our trust in God. But if we take the mitzvah, it could be used in the opposite way. I have to be worried, oh my gosh, I have to put aside money, I have to put aside crops. The entire purpose of the mitzvah is in order for us to strengthen our bitachon. Okay, so a person can end up doing the opposite. He can end up losing his bitachon. He can end up having a rifyon, a weakening in his bitachon. And so when we think about it, it's an important idea here, because when we think about, we're all faced with an amazing situation today, or many of us are faced perhaps with a situation where we don't know where the next dollar is going to come from. We don't know where the next job is going to come from. We don't know what's going to be. We don't know what's going to be next week, in a month, in a few months from now. Everything is called into question. And we ask ourselves, why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing this? But we see from the mitzvah of the Torah, we see from the mitzvah of Shmita, that the reason HaKadosh Baruch Hu assures us that there's going to be a time when we won't have anything is so that we can work on our bitachon. So we can focus on not putting aside, having a stockpile so that we'll be able to make it on a rainy day, make it in a time of a pandemic. No, that's not the point. The point is to work on our bitachon. There are going to be tough times. There are going to be times of challenge. And as I heard today from our Rosh Yeshiva, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Right? When the times are tough, that's when we need to strengthen our bitachon. That's when we need to work on it. So if we don't do that, however, if the person doesn't have the proper attitude, so he can turn around the entire mitzvah, he loses the entire point of the mitzvah. Chazal, as our sages say, if a person has food, you have food on your table today, There's food in the fridge. You have a roof over your head. The electricity is on. The water's still working. A person who has everything that he needs right now, doesn't know what's going to be tomorrow, and he's worried about it, such a person is of small faith. He doesn't have so much faith. It's Gemara in Shemitah Daf Mem Ches Amud Beis. Bitachon sheikayim din Shmita b'poyal v'yechsel lekiyum mitzvah. And how is it possible that the person can fulfill the halacha of Shemitah? He does it by the letter of the law, but he's missing the spirit of what it's supposed to be. She'ein din b'lei mitzvah. You can't really have a halacha without the essence of it. Which is say kol sev yivatel kima mitzvah b'poyal. And then in the end, the person who is worried what's going to be tomorrow, he's not going to end up fulfilling the mitzvah at all. He's going to end up losing the mitzvah itself. Why? Since the person doesn't have the proper trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, doesn't have the bitachon as the Torah lays it out. Person can't always live that way. Person can't live b'doichik. Person can't live in a way where he's always putting away some of the food that he has for a later time. In the end, he's going to fall. He's not going to be able to withstand the test. Says the Alter, an amazing thing. This is why the Torah says, you should eat to your full capacity, until you're satiated. And you should live in security upon the land. The Torah is not just coming to make a promise, which it is, but it's also coming to say something further. The Torah is also giving us an azhar, a warning, an instruction. Together, the Torah is saying, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, eat your fill. Don't be worried. Have a steak. Enjoy your life. Don't put aside the money. Don't scrimp and save. Don't constrict yourself at all. The Torah understood the person's thinking. The person's already going to be worried in the first year. He wants to fulfill the mitzvah. The person is going to go and he's going to say to himself, well, what can I do? I'm going to put aside money now. I'm going to be cheap now. I'm not going to let myself have that steak. His hira atera azhara chamura. That's why the Torah gives us a very important and powerful warning. Eat your fill. Eat the steak. Eat that fattened chicken and the old wine. Don't use this trick. Don't put aside money. Don't constrict yourself for a later time. Be confident. Live in confidence in your land. You don't have to worry that if I'm going to fulfill the mitzvah, what's going to be? Don't worry. This is what the question is saying, like this. We're going to say, what are you going to say if you will say, what am I going to eat in the 7th year? It's coming to address the issue of the warning that we just said in the previous pasuk. I believe it's the previous pasuk. Oh, it's a few pasukim earlier. Don't worry. Eat your fill. Don't be worried. Being worried about tomorrow is an intellectual issue. It's an intellectual thought. If I don't save up today, how will I have tomorrow? It's a valid thought. It's an acceptable thought to have. Kadosh Baruch Hu assures us, because of this thought, don't worry. I'm going to give you extra blessings. If you trust in me, you attach yourselves to a higher reality. When you attach yourself to a higher reality, that's the source of blessings. Where do we see this idea? I'm just talking outside now for a moment. You see this idea in Shabbos. Shabbos is called the Mekor HaBracha. It's called the source of all blessings. Why is it? Shabbos? It's the day we don't work. If you don't work on Shabbos, you get extra brachas. Why? Because you're attaching yourself to Bitachon. It's the exact idea. You're attaching yourself to a higher place. You're attaching yourself to a place which is beyond the physical world, beyond the natural world. When you attach yourself to beyond the natural world, you get supernatural results. Says the Alter, it's not your job to prepare. Ela alai, Hashem says to us, it's my job. You will see you'll get extra blessings, triple blessings. When you work on Bitachon, you're guaranteed that you will experience something which is above nature. But you need to prove to yourselves, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that indeed you're not interested in your own plans and thoughts. What is the idea of klala as opposed to bracha? Bracha, blessings come when we attach ourselves to the source of all blessings, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the supernatural. What is the idea of klala? Curses, those come when we attach ourselves to kamtsonus, tzimtzum, constriction, and being worried about poverty. I'm going to prepare for you from the side of blessings, says the Kodesh Baruch Hu. You're going to have enough for 3 years. There will be a blessing in the actual tzmicha itself. In other words, you're going to see something within nature, the growth. The growth is going to be supernatural within nature. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to enter into the natural world and show you something supernatural. That you will see an extra growth enough in 1 year for 3 years. You won't need, it won't be required, it won't be necessary to constrict yourselves, to be cheap, to put aside money, to penny pinch. Trust in Hashem and you will see the blessings. And we're going to see further. I'm not going to keep reading now, but the idea is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to us, it goes by you. Hashem tzilcha yad yaminecha. Hashem is your shadow. If you trust in me, if you prove your trust, if you diminish yourself, I would even say, if you show your humility, if you show that you're not going to do it your way, you're not going to put in all that effort till the end to get what you want. You could do that, but then you get it based on what you did. And it might not be enough. Hashem Baruch Hu says, if you don't put in that effort, but rather you put your efforts into trusting in me, you put your faith in me, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then you get extra blessings. Then you get much more than you could ever imagine, than you could have done yourself. You get a supernatural blessing. And that's the idea here. Thank you so much for listening.